Yo, it's Mel from Rap Rankings. To hear the full episode this clip comes from and all the other episodes, stop by raprankings.com or search Rap Rankings on your favorite podcast platform. Track 14, Rusty, featuring is it Domo Genesis?
Yeah.
Domo? Admittedly, don't know. I never cared enough. You know, Domo.
I think it's Domo.
You know, I hate to say this, folks, but when it comes to that man's name,
we don't care.
So yeah, and Earl Sweatshirt. Yeah. So you know how we do it on these guest spots. We when Jesse's on the show, the third member, we don't bother, explaining the rating system. That's one of the special privileges he gets. If you're new to the show, I apologize, but listen, Jesse's in the building. He doesn't want to hear any of this. The raprankings.com if you want to know the rating system, what these numbers you are about to hear me.
Listen to the whole episode because we explained it already.
Yeah, sure. It's at the top of the episode too. It's in the timestamps, but we Jesse, you want to go first? You want us to go first?
What are we doing?
However you want to do this.
Do we have a moment to talk about familiarity with the artist?
Oh yeah, we'll have that moment.
Okay.
You want to do it now?
Sure. Summer 2010 was probably the worst season or year of my life. Let's see here. So I wrote down everything I was dealing with. Severe heartbreak at the time. Started kind of talking to somebody new. That went left pretty fast. It got toxic pretty fast. Let's see here. I'd been living in my apartment. This was in North Philadelphia for about a year at the time. When I moved in, they were like all utilities included. Let's see. And one day the lights just go out. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? I thought my utilities were already included in my rent. And they were like, oh, that must have been there from the last guy. That must have been left over from the last guy who lived there. He must have forgot to shut it off. And I'm like, I'm so confused. So at that point, my lights are out for about a week till they can come and turn my lights back on after I put whatever in my name. Make an appointment. So basically, I had to go to a...
You were like that, what's that YG song? In the dark.
In the dark. Right.
Sorry.
Speaking of Domo Genesis, his debut project, Rolling Papers, came out. I had to go to a Starbucks and download it on Starbucks Wi-Fi to download that project because I had no energy, no whatever, in my apartment. Just falling out with a bunch of friends for different reasons. It was a bad time in my life. So this was coincidentally around the time that I discovered Tyler, the Creator's music. And
this explains a lot, actually. If
you're familiar with that era of Tyler, the Creator, it was very dark music. I wasn't suicidal. He talked about that, but we'll get to that in a little while. He plays out different just roles and characters, and almost none of it is real to me. I've come to realize, a lot of that was just shock and awe, but I was gravitating to the dark energy in this project. I believe there was an incident. I don't know if Moulz knows about this, but there was an incident where I was almost canceled as a journalist before I could become one. Are you familiar with I guess it's kind of infamous, potholes in my blog situation?
You know what? I'm not, but I have a potholes in my blog. But you tell me first, because now we're going to talk about potholes in my blog.
Oh, wow. Long story short, there was a guy,
David Reineke?
Oh, man, you nailed him on the head. Yep. He basically gave me the green light to disrespect all the popular bloggers at the time. I was the loose cannon, and he gave me the green light. So I wrote an article dissing Two Dope Boys, dissing Nah Right, dissing that whole circle, and it stirred up big time shit in the potholes in my blog community because he didn't have the approval from his partners and whatnot who were trying to, be buddy with all those people. And so my career was, almost over as a writer before it could even start. And Tyler, the Creator, started off his Bastard project with the first words on that project were "fuck two dope boys." So I was like gravitating to that and the dark energy of just that whole project. And literally every morning for what had to be, I don't know, almost a year, I was walking into my job at the time, playing the intro to that album. And it's just like really dark. He's like, "This is what the devil plays before he goes to sleep." And it was like, yeah, it was a dark time of my life. And I basically gravitated to that album. So that's my history. And I'm not as much of a fan nowadays.
I'm a little down today.
I'm a little depressed.
I'm a little depressed today.
Right. That was me.
Got a lot of things on my mind bothering me, but I still got to promote my show.
That was me.
If that ain't the truth. So yeah, David from Potholes in My Blog, when the blog had launched, he wanted to start a record label, and he said he had distribution through Sony Red. So
that sounds like Cat.
Yeah. So basically, I was like in quote unquote negotiations to sign as a producer to Potholes in My Blog and release instrumental albums
Sony Red
with vocalists on them. So I had a song that he was interested in. He wanted to get a whole album like that. And he was trying to sign me at the time. We're going back and forth. Got a lawyer involved because when people start talking contracts and they bring up something like Sony, it's like, all right, I got a lawyer up. And it was Cap.
So Mel, if you ever come across a guy named David Renicky, he's
in the craft beer business now. You don't have to worry about him.
Sounds good.
All I can contribute to this conversation is that was a blog that I sent many cold emails to back when I was struggle rapping and never got a response. So I'll just play this soundbite since I don't use curse words because I'm a good boy. But Potholes in My Blog and all those other blogs, this is very much in the spirit of Tyler, the Creator from that era. This is all I got to say.
A lot of criticism of you.
Fuck them.
Okay, well, this is...
So, yeah.
Let's break out the soundbite from GM's boy.
GM's boy?
Yeah.
Joe Biden?
Oh.
Let's give it to him. For David Renicky.
And you ain't black.
There you go.
Okay. That was appropriate. Yeah. Yeah, well, listen. They've heard our familiarity at the top of the show with this artist and this album. But I'll tell you this. I got my rating. I assume y'all have yours. So
I have
what
mine.
order are we doing this in?
Let's do it.
Yeah. What order?
I'll go last as always.
I'll do it.
Okay. Well,
you always want me to go first.
Moulz.
Sacrifice myself to the wrath of gods.
You know?
Well,
whatever. What is it?
You'll be pleased to know, gentlemen, that, and on this episode, I'm not saying ding me, baby. I'm saying swag me the fuck out. 7.
Okay. Well, folks, I give Rusty a flat 8.
Rusty.
Yeah. We've probably already made a bunch of jokes at this point in the show about his song titles. I don't know. I mean, we're recording this guest spot first. Sometimes we do it after the rest of the episode. Sometimes we do it before. I'm assuming we've made jokes. But yeah, Rusty is a flat 8 for me. I like it a lot.
You got a 7, we got an 8. Jesse?
Moulz likes it. Mel likes it a lot. Jesse, it's
9
up to
plus.
you now. Oh my God.
I had
In honor
issues
of
with
that,
it, but it's a 9+.
I'm gonna call this a royal flush. Okay, when you get 3 numbers going up consecutively in a row. And
all right, new term on Rap Rankings
We're
here.
gonna call
Royal
this a
flush.
royal flush. This segment is full of firsts.
Let's call
This is
it a
a royal
Royal
flush.
Watch.
A royal watch. There you go. I like that. Doing a little, getting the show's lore in there. You know, a little branding.
This
I
is
like
a
it.
royal watch now.
The royal watch. That was a royal
Well,
watch.
listen, if they don't know what a watch is, we're gonna have to tell them what a watch is. You know, this is still an early show. You know, the listeners that listen, they know what's going on, but the rest of these people,
No,
they're like, what in the world is a watch?
To all my redactors that be living it up.
I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna give them the watch. Listen,
They heard it already,
folks. Nah, they gotta hear it again.
To all my niggas that been living it up, what you do.
Watch.
So that's a royal watch, a 7, an 8, and a 9. And let's get rusty.
I have my issues
listen.
with the song, but it's a 9+.
Yeah, I got my issues too.
That's kind of wild. I mean, it's not that it's not that you can't have issues, but with a 9+, it's almost a perfect song. Well, I guess that would make sense because if it was perfect, you probably wouldn't have any issues with it. But that 9 means you love it, and that plus is it's teetering on being perfect for you. So I can only imagine. I'm interested. What are your issues with the song, if you don't mind, unless you want to save it?
Well, it's a 9+ because the beat is very hard. This is what I would consider in most like hardcore. Like I was hardcore Odd Future. They were my Charles Hamilton. What he was to you, Mel. So
Yikes!
I was in the cult. I went to the first New York show, $5 to see Tyler the Creator. First New York show.
Was that Webster Hall?
Yep, I was there.
I was not there, but I heard about it.
No one caught my Christine and the Queens reference. No one.
I missed it.
It was a bad impression, but she says $5 in one of her albums. So
me and your boy Craig SJ, we were there.
Your boy?
Yeah.
Whose boy is this?
That's Moulz's boy.
That's my boy.
Yeah. Like I was there. I think I was supposed to go to the Philly show the next night, but I was like too tired. And like Nas, not the rapper, the journalist, he wrote an article that I basically what's the word? What's the word when you give someone some inspiration? Oh, consulted, basically. Unpaid consultant on an Odd Future article. Like he asked me a bunch of questions about them, and I gave him the information. Let's see here. And yeah, I went to a lot of their shows in that era. And so this was considered, to the hardcore Odd Future fans, this was considered the breakout Domo Genesis verse. This was like, we already knew he was good, but wow, he's like amazing now.
Amazing?
That verse is amazing.
Well, okay, if we're talking about this song, I mean, I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Well,
I thought you were talking about the rest of his catalog at
No,
this
no.
moment.
No, that
I
verse.
guess he's saying if you're comparing it to like how he was rapping on Rolling Papers or something like that.
Right, he was always good, but it was like, wow.
Oh, you mean now as in back then?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Well,
when this verse came on, it was like, wow,
this verse is outstanding.
Right, he blacked out. And then Tyler, amazing verse. He always loves to downplay his rap skills. Like he has this thing for like dissing quote unquote real hip hop, but he also embodies it. The Earl verse was kind of whatever, but I believe this. If this was not his,
I got something to say about that.
This was not his return verse, it was maybe the second verse after that posse cut from
Oldie.
Yeah, I don't know which one came first.
I got probably a hot take.
Okay.
So when it comes to Odd Future,
right,
let me just tell you right off the bat, okay? I think Tyler's my favorite member of Odd Future.
Overall, yes.
Overall, because I didn't say he's the best. I said he's my favorite because he's the guy with the vision.
He's the most talented one.
Yeah, he's the one who's putting together all this stuff and really, like, even when I'm not feeling it, he's pushing the boundaries. All right? He's the creative genius behind this group. So he's my favorite overall. But I don't go to Tyler because he's a lyricist. I go to him because he's a musician, an arranger of some sort, you know? That's not to say I don't enjoy a lot of his verses. But I don't view Tyler first and foremost as an MC. He's the creator, you know? When it comes to... I don't think that was necessary. I think it was. When it comes to MCing, I prefer Domo Genesis to Earl Sweatshirt And
overall or that era?
Sorry, there's a lot of dust in here.
No, overall, I'm going to say that I don't really like Earl Sweatshirt as a rapper. So, Domo Genesis
Ever
is
or
someone-
now?
Ever.
Oh man, I assume you're familiar with his self-titled EP.
I've heard Earl. I've heard
He
what's the
went
one,
insane
Chung?
on that project.
Doris, what was it? Doris. I heard Doris. I heard I don't like things, so I don't go outside. And I heard some rap songs, and I got to tell you, I've heard almost everything this guy's put out.
He went crazy on his debut EP. Like lyrically,
It was all right.
yeah, lyrically not lost. Yeah.
Listen, I'm just gonna say, Earl is a guy who I respect. I've never thought of him in this sense of, people seem to place him in where he's this like pinnacle of like he's carrying the torch of lyricism.
2010, he was God tier.
No way.
I think that's some narrative speak, like,
Nah,
I mean, he was good for his age. Absolutely.
Shout
And he's
out.
definitely not a bad rapper. He's above average, but they were talking about him like he was the God MC.
Shout out my
gotta tell you,
boy. Shout out my
you
boy
know how-
Jason Buford. He was one of my
You know
God
who?
MCs.
Big Buford.
Huh?
We going to rallies?
Jason Buford. He's a rap Twitter guy. That's my boy, even though he has me blocked. Let's see here. Yeah, 2010 Earl Sweatshirt was my God MC. That's
Chill.
that's
That's
a-
wild.
That's
if you don't mind me asking,
That's an
how
inside
old
joke,
were you at
huh?
the time?
How old was I?
Yeah.
Oh, old. But I was like in dark.
2010.
Yeah, I was in some dark energy at the time.
Let me think
What?
about
Okay.
2010.
Okay. All right.
But that doesn't take away from the fact that he was rapping
Okay. I mean, listen.
his ass off, huh?
I gotta tell you, Jesse, I'm gonna name some God MCs. What's the quote? So and so is a God MC.
Yeah, Future's a God MC.
Okay. In 2010, Von P was a God MC with P's Gotta Have It.
He's one of my favorite. He may be the best underground rapper no one talks about.
I agree.
But that's just it's just kind of like I don't know. He's like Pasta News, where it's just like some things don't need to be said. But yeah, he's an amazing MC. He's an amazing. Aside from that one
2010.
song, huh?
Homeboy Sandman, The Good Son, huh? The Good Son?
He doesn't have a classic album to his name.
He doesn't. He really doesn't. But he's got classic songs.
Oh dear.
We love him though.
Talk about a come up in the world. What do you think about?
2010. What about Rock Marciano? The Marsburg album came out.
Oh,
in
that's
2010.
legendary.
That's God MC status right there.
Right, but I was saying, talk about a come up, Moulz. What do you think about that verse? It starts 9-6 kickies, 9-6 kickies, whatever the hell that was.
Which one?
Rhapsody on Von P's album.
Oh, New
Man,
Pair?
shit.
Man, what is
Kickies.
going on in here?
Yeah.
I thought she was horrible at the time.
Well, I'll say
I
this.
was-
I used to not like her because like her lisp was really present. And I don't think you
9-6
should rap.
kickies, huh?
I don't think you should rap until you've mastered the way to find a way to use your lisp to your advantage, like Biggie, Cool G rap, or something like that.
Doesn't Tyler kind of have a lisp?
A little bit.
No, but I think he's like sometimes.
Jesse. No, he does, because Jesse just confirmed it. Jesse's the resident Odd Future fan here,
A little bit.
so I'm not tripping. It's
He said
there.
a little bit.
When he speaks, not so much in the rapping.
No, I've heard it in the raps. I've never heard it when he's talking.
Oh.
In this album, he actually says, I believe it was Colossus, but
I don't want to quote that one right now.
we probably pointed it out by now, because we're at track whatever on the album. But he's like, what do you say? Like, I just wanted to go on Colossus. Okay, it's there. Look it up. It's in the song. I'm not making this up.
On DS2, Future said this shit's Colosso.
Shigekuwas.
Colossal.
You know,
But yeah, I think
Colossal,
Domo Genesis, Jesse, is, I mean, he put out an EP last year that I thought was better than any Earl Sweatshirt I've ever heard.
listen, when it comes to rapping, I don't really want to hear from anybody in Odd Future. If we're just talking rapping, if I want to hear great verses, these aren't the people I go to. It's not that they haven't had good verses. It's just pound for pound, I'm going elsewhere.
You got like
raps.
a collective
I'm going
of
elsewhere.
guys. Everyone needs like MC's MC, you know, like
and their MC's MC isn't matching up to other MC's. But what it's worth,
but I'm saying, who is the better lyricist, Domo Genesis or Earl Sweatshirt?
It's close.
I haven't heard enough Domo.
I gotta tell you, I don't want to hear from these fuck Earl mom people either. Okay, because there are people out there that were sending threats to Earl's mom, and then they're gonna tell me that Earl's the better rapper between Domo Genesis. Like, you need to.
I mean, what is their
that comes up
moral
in
imperfections have to do with their taste in?
Because
I'm not following here.
Because if you're the kind of person that would basically say fuck this dude's mom, then I don't want to hear from you, because like you're not, like, you're an unhinged fan. You're the kind of person that, like, you're sending threats to this man's mother because she made a decision on how to raise her kid.
Right, that comes up in my issues with the song.
Well, Tyler does say something in his verse, but
right.
Before I forget, I want to say, you know I've stated at the top of this here song review that we don't care, we being me, myself, and I, about how to pronounce Domo Genesis, but this verse is stellar.
Yeah, he comes in with a lot of like energy.
He kills it. He kills it.
He has a really good opening verse, I think.
I want to quote the whole thing.
It's not great. The best verse on the song.
I think honestly, it could be tied with Tyler.
I think it is because
Tyler has more narrative weight.
He also has more space to write. He's writing a much longer verse than the other two, and not only that, I think Tyler takes a little while to get going. Like, his first 8 to 14 bars were not the best. It only picked up for me really in like the second half of his verse.
Listen, I think Tyler has the narrative advantage. I think Domo is doing the technical thing as a rapper better than Tyler here.
And Earl's there to get shot.
He's there because at this point his lore is what's sustaining him. At least, I shouldn't say sustaining, because people think he's a great rapper at this point, right? So, I mean, they still do. So, I mean, he's there because he's an attraction. It's like, yo, Earl's back. We got to put Earl on the Rapidy Rap song, right? I think, honestly, I could accept somebody saying Tyler has the best verse. I could accept somebody saying Domo has the best verse. I think they both snapped in different ways.
I'm going to edge it to Domo because there are no issues. There are no glaring issues with his verse.
Tyler's doing that thing that he always does where it's like, go outside and play with your friends. He does too much of that in the beginning of his verse that, like, I didn't really get into it until a little bit before the midpoint of the verse. Listen,
Tyler's early self-righteousness was always interesting to me because, I don't run from it. I don't lie on this show. I could probably relate because, that's kind of where my personality was. But even then, hearing it on record, it's like, all right, you might be wasting bars here, but I agree with you, in sentiment. But, it's like, come on, we're in a world where kids my age are popping mollies with leather, sitting on Tumblr, never outside or enjoying the weather. Can name a sweater, but not a talent, or don't know if whether or not they
got one. Can name a sweater, but not a talent. That stuck out to me. It's like, you're not saying what you're trying to say well by saying that.
Well, listen, I think he says it well enough, but the question is, does it need to be said here? But I get it. It's a setup. Let's just say my main issue is that I've grown to not care about what other people are doing. I can understand his irritation because I was once there, but I don't feel the need to even comment on it anymore. If people want to be
not even irritation.
vapid and hollow, then just let him be vapid. I'm just gonna focus on what I got to do.
What's his
not-
fixation with like going outside?
It's not irritation.
It's not even that. It's the fixation on like I'm different. You know,
Right.
that's what it is. I'm different. I'm a real artist. I'm artsy. I think. I conceive these things. I got these concepts and these lofty ideas, and all these my peers and contemporaries just smoke weed and don't do anything. That was his MO for a lot of the early part of his career.
That's still his
varying
MO.
degrees of success.
That's still his MO.
Well, yeah, it's probably still there.
The word I have is arrogance, and that's the one thing I don't like about him. Like he'll do like something really shitty, like musically, like the whole Cherry Bomb album, and then just be like, "Oh, that was me being in my creative bag. I'm creative. Y'all don't understand me."
My thing was, and my thing with arrogance is I actually don't care how arrogant anyone is. My like I have to bring this guy up, unfortunately.
Charles Hamilton, Drake.
No, and I'm gonna play the new drop to let you know who I'm talking about.
Oh, fuck this motherfucker. Oh, that's Kanye West. Oh, get the fuck out of here.
Okay, that guy, he's known for being arrogant. That's actually not what turns me off from him. I don't care if someone's arrogant. I don't care. My issue is that you're not backing it up. Okay?
Tyler does not always back it up.
He doesn't always back it up.
He doesn't.
That's the thing. When he does, I give him his credit. But it's like, I mean, it's just like, it's one thing to be like, if you're going to be arrogant. I love that. I love wrestling. So I love, shit talk, basically. I love it. You just got to back it up. And that's Tyler's issue. But
I have so many issues with this verse now that I played it back, now that I've thought about it. He takes no accountability for I mean, maybe he's done so privately, but on record, he's taken no accountability for ever disrespecting Earl's mom.
That's a point.
That was the cause of their like whole rift. Like Earl Sweatshirt was like on some like, okay, I'm rebellious as, on record as like an act. I'm not. In no way do I feel like fuck my mom. And like, why are you using your power to say fuck my mom?
Look at that mom who thinks I'm evil, hold that grudge against me, though I'm the reason that her motherfucking son got to eat. Like, listen,
you told kids
it comes
to
across,
say fuck Earl's mom.
And that's what I'm saying.
Meanwhile, he's in Samoa on lockdown, like, yo, what's going on?
Get mad at me for saying that I'm not really feeling Earl as an MC, and I think Domo is better. If you said fuck Earl's mom, you're the last kind of person I want to hear from about this.
I don't know if the argument will hold up in court, but I do follow your line of reasoning.
Man, listen, in the court of Rab, the captain always wins.
Man, get out of here. Can I just say, like, we were jumping around, but this is that shit. Okay, this song, I think this is a top 10 Tyler the Creator song.
I don't think so at all. I think it's okay.
I think so.
I mean, it's
probably top 10.
It's tied with 48 for my favorite song on here.
Look at these guys over here.
So you like 48 over IFHY? I thought you would have given that like a 10.
Absolutely no.
Oh
I know you all think I'm Earl Mel on this show, but no.
My God.
No, I'm good on I.
That's like the small penis national anthem.
ICB, I-35. Yeah, right. You would think, but come on, I can't deal with that. I mean, listen, you'll hear it on the review.
Mel.
You'll hear it on the review.
That's peak Mel energy.
Exactly. And see, and this is the issue. This is the issue that I had in this era because I always got this comparison. And trust me, it's not coloring my review of his work, but it's like, this same thing with Kid Cudi. I would get. It's like, oh, you love Kid Cudi, you'll love Tyler the Creator. No, and no, because they do things that I would never do, and I'm irritated by it. And they're a little on the nose with stuff.
How familiar are you guys with Man on the Moon 2?
I'm very familiar. Mel's heard it.
I've only heard it one time.
Okay, who can guess my 10?
Oh shit! Really? Okay. You have a 10 on there?
I do.
Okay.
Mind you, it came out when I was in a dark period. Spoiler for the fans. More of my dark period will be discussed on my next appearance. I'm not going to say what album yet.
All right, I'm pulling it up because I need to look at what's on the track list. Man, all right, can you at least give me a hint? Is it a track on the deluxe edition or is it on both versions, standard and deluxe?
I don't know the difference. I've only played, I guess, a regular version of the album. So I'm guessing whatever's on the regular version will be on the deluxe.
Not always, but okay. Now, I'm just gonna guess 3 songs because
You only get one guess.
Well, I know, but I'm gonna guess.
Get
3.
the fuck out of here, you motherfucker!
All right.
Get the fuck out of here, you motherfucker!
I mean, let me just say this, okay? I know Danny Brown was obsessed with The Mood at one point in time. I don't think that's what you picked, though. So I'm taking that off the board. Now, for me, I gotta think, is it These Worries or Trapped in My Mind?
Neither one.
Wow, what is it?
My 10 is, wanna know what it sounds like when I'm not on drugs? Please, please don't play this song. That was my 10. That was my life for a while.
You're a wild man.
Can I just say that, although I've turned to
being helpful. That was my dark era.
I've recently, as in the past few years, turned a corner on Kid Cudi, but let me just say, for the most part, most of my life, how I felt towards him, that album.
The song, however, I agree. The worst, maybe the worst song in the entire world. Not good. Lyrically, lost. The worst song. The lyrics in the song don't make sense.
That was my stance on Kid Cudi for the better part of the previous decade. So
you guys like the beat on Rusty?
Yes.
I love it.
Stellar. First of all, the bass line's great. Across the whole album, the bass lines are great. But here it's growling mightily, pal. All right, it's warm. You got that sustained. It sounds like a synth horn. I don't know what's and it's and you got that that's the bass line. And then you got the you don't like that? Moulz, come on, this is horror movie-esque. You don't like that?
I didn't say I didn't like it. I said, what do you guys think of the beat?
No, you were sounding like you was ready to hate. I don't want to. I can read you. I'm your co-host. I know how this show works. I know when you about to hate. All right, hating. Okay?
The beat doesn't blow me away.
This is hip hop, bro. This is a hip hop beat. You should love this.
Oh, you ain't black.
You know something? This is not hip hop enough. I hate when I hate when I'm being pandered to. I know when it's happening.
I don't even think this is pandering, though. I don't think this is
It's not good pandering. It's bad pandering.
I don't think it's pandering at all. I think this is just legitimately good, authentic hip hop music.
No, this ain't dusty
enough. When that hook comes in, you hear the that horn. That horn is coming in. You do the keys. No, listen. It's time. It's time. No, I don't want to hear from you because you know what it's time for. It's time for Mel's wacky scenarios. You know what this beat sounds like? This beat.
Yes. No. You asked me what it sounds like. I'm going to tell you what it sounds like.
No. This beat, okay, sounds like Mel and Jason doing choreographed interpretive dances about what it's like to be bullied at Camp Crystal Lake.
Jason Derulo?
No, Jason with the mask. Okay, this beat sounds like the kitchen of a gothic pizza joint.
A gothic pizza joint.
This beat sounds like tetanus flavored popsicles. This beat sound like when they bullied me in the locker room at the Catholic school and told me that my crush had a unibrow and looked like an Amazonian. Okay, that's what this beat sounds like, and that's why I love it. Jesse, you talk about the dark period. Okay, I can on this beat I can relate. All right, I'm coming to school with a trench coat with this beat playing. Okay,
that's not the trench coat song.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to shoot nobody. I'm
not the trench coat song. Pigs is the trench coat song.
Well, Pigs is the trench coat song, but Pigs is a bad song. But
no, it's not.
Listen, this might be the second.
Pigs is hard. Pigs is a 9.
Review, you give it a 6.
Nah. Pigs is what happens when no one tells you in high school that high school doesn't last forever.
Pigs is 9.
That's Pigs.
Or 9-.
That's bad,
man.
Yeah, I said the last verse took it down a notch. He tried to go into insane Eminem mode.
You didn't like that verse? I think that was probably the best verse.
No, Pigs is a 9. Yeah.
Well, I'll say this: this music, I enjoy this music, and I spoke on this album about a lot of these beats can sound like sad clown music. I feel like the clown is no longer sad; he snapped. Okay, it's like this is incel time for real. It's the Joker. You know, he's no longer sad. He's snapped. He's had a psychotic break. That's this song. Okay.
None of your descriptions made me like the beat anymore.
I don't care what you think. It ain't about to make you like that.
My opinion about the beat is this beat is quintessential Tyler. It's boilerplate Tyler. It's not good or bad.
I don't think so.
Oh no, it's a hard beat. The drums are hard. The beat changes.
I think this is an outlier.
So, I think this sounds like one of his beats. You know,
he went full hip hop on this.
Maybe one of his dark beats.
He didn't go full. Come on, Jesse. You know about hip hop. You don't say that.
It has some of them
for what Tyler is.
Elements,
he went full hip hop.
We know what full hip hop is. Okay, full hip hop
by Tyler is what?
No. I hate to say it, but he hasn't gone there yet.
That was it.
Nah, he ain't been there yet.
That was his boom bap. Like this is for the real people.
Too much like VSTs, you know, like these like synth patches and stuff.
Listen, this guy just wants drums and nothing else. Listen to this guy.
Give me more.
You know what?
You're not important enough for me to care about what you say.
Okay, this is hip hop. Okay, Small Penis Chancellor.
I got
Melvin
the shirt
has
sold.
checked in.
I got the shirt sold. Campfire.
He did get the shirt sold. But my other issue with this song is...
Oh, Jesse, I got an idea, by the way.
Go ahead.
A shirt next season, third member, and it's pointing down.
I don't get it.
Oh, God,
no. No, that's like Jersey Shore reference. That's like Jersey Shore t-shirt kind of stuff.
All right, it's been vetoed.
What was that acronym that was on shirts? FBI,
GTL.
Female Body Inspector?
Female body. I thought you were talking about the GTL, Gym Tan Laundry.
Was that a Jersey Shore shirt? FBI? Because I saw it
FBI was a long ways before Jersey Shore.
Oh, man. Yeah. No, not third member. No, not pointing down.
Okay. Well, listen, it was pitch. It was pitch, folks.
No. That was a bad pitch.
You talked earlier about Tyler never really holding himself accountable for sending his cult members towards Earl's mom.
Right.
It's funny is I as far as I know, I agree with that, but there is some self-awareness in this verse when he says, I was the drama club kid. I'm like, oh, you finally admitted that your music is drama club core.
That's not self-awareness. That's just introspection.
I think it's self-awareness.
No.
Or maybe it isn't because he keeps doing it. So maybe it is introspection. He knows it, but he's not going to stop. It's who he is, which I respect. I've always respected that about him. He has a conviction. He has an enthusiasm for the things that he likes. I may not always like it, but he does what he wants to do. I will always respect that. That is one of his most endearing qualities.
And then Samuel's here.
Well, you skipping to the end, man.
We jump around on this show. What are you talking about? Jump around.
Jump up, biggie. That's some hip hop, right?
That's
you didn't know who that guy was, Mel. Don't pretend you didn't.
I don't.
You don't have to know who that is, bro. You don't have to fucking know who that is.
Who is that? Who does that?
You still don't know?
Jump around.
I don't. I can't. I wouldn't know in the past 5 seconds.
You said no. It came up on the Busta Rhymes episode. You were like, well, who's Everlast? A boxing glove company?
That's Everlast?
Yes. No.
He did the jump up, big.
From a group called House of Pain, yes.
Oh, House of Pain.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. It's a good show on TBS.
There you go.
Yeah. Hey, wasn't that what they were listening to in Mrs. Doubtfire when Sally Field comes into the house and Robin Williams has got that backwards hat on?
I've only seen it once.
Get out of here, Jesse. You never seen Mrs. Doubtfire?
No, but Mrs. Featherbottom from Arrested Development was much better than Mrs. Doubtfire.
Hold on. Moulz told me to never play this again, but I get to play it now because you said that. Huzzah! Okay, so yeah, yeah, man.
I told you to never play that again.
You did. You did. He's supposed to be the captain. He's having these mental lapses. He doesn't know what's really going on in the show.
Just like the real captain.
All right. Well, listen. Jesse, I agree that this Tyler verse, as much as I like it, it's spotty. It's like he'll lose momentum and then gain it and then lose it and then gain it. it's kind of the whole, so I think the more consistent verse is Damo's verse, because all the way through I'm enjoying it. The Tyler thing.
My other issue, most recently playing this song, is saying I hate gays even though Frank is on 10 of my songs.
Is the equivalent of I got black friends.
Like, how does that make up for all of the gay slurs?
Well,
this whole album was
like if I started rapping again and I started using the N-word, and then my defense is saying I'm a racist because I got Jesse and Mel on my show.
The whole album is I'm more mature musically, but I'm still an immature human being. Like, he says that F word so many times on this album, and now I'm going to come out and say it. This is not a hot take to me. Now he's pretending to be gay in his music.
Oh, man. We're taking it there?
We're taking it there. Like, he has never made an Instagram post or an official announcement like I'm out of the closet, I'm LGBT, anything. He plays roles. Okay.
Shit getting out of hand now.
He plays roles.
I don't think it's getting out of hand. I don't think it's getting out of hand, because I'm going to tell you something. What about when Eminem said, all this time, me and Dre's been fucking with hats off?
Exactly. But first album, Tyler played the role of just a serial killer and a rapist. This album, who was he? He was a school shooter. Let's see here. Like, some of the album is really him, like Answer, songs like that. But he was a school shooter.
Well, he was just like disaffected youth summer camp miscreant.
Right, but he was a school shooter, and then later albums he's this supposedly out of the closet guy.
Well, here's the thing.
He
Jesse.
tries
I'm inclined
interesting ideas. That's all.
I'm inclined to believe him because
I don't.
From what I've heard, he has been talking about kissing white boys for years.
I don't believe
and
any
I
of it.
get the sense that he's,
why would
serious.
why would he use that F word slur so many times on his music if that's what he had quote unquote identified as? He's had ample opportunity, huh?
I was gonna say I don't know much about the politics of that. It's just something that I've heard, but apparently that's something that people do as a as sort of a cognitive dissonance thing when they're afraid or ashamed. They say So I've heard. I don't know how truthful or scientific that is, but people in the closet tend to use language like that more often because they're insecure.
He's had ample opportunity to come out of the closet between Sid the Kid from the internet, Frank Ocean.
Sid the dude.
Right. Sid the Kid, Frank Ocean. What's the other guy's name? The guitarist. Steve Lacy, he's bisexual from the internet. And him and Kevin Abstract are managed by the same people. Like Clancy and all those people, they manage the career of Kevin Abstract from Brockhampton, who's actually gay. So with all of these friends and associates, he could have come out a long time ago as the leader of, the open mind. This is just in his song to be compelling to people. That's all.
Jesse got on the show and said,
"You know what? I'm about to say it."
I'm glad he did. It takes a brave man with convictions.
And I get into arguments with people sometimes because I'm gonna word this as carefully as I can. Sometimes, respect to the LGBT community. We've had a member on the show. Best of love to everyone. But sometimes the gay community can have a bad habit of trying to adopt people who've never said that they were gay. I feel like they've done that with Tyler, and they definitely did it recently with actress Niecy Nash. She married a woman.
I mean, with Tyler, I think they've adopted him because he says
it in the music, but he's never. Like I said, he plays roles.
I mean, what are we waiting on? For him to drop an image of him throating some dude?
No, for him to just come out and say it. Make a post saying, like, okay, I'm outwardly, whatever.
Take the Frank. Well, Frank didn't even take the Frank approach.
He did. He made an Instagram
he loved
post.
a man? What did he say? I loved a man.
I loved a man.
At some point, he's been bisexual or something. Frank Ocean, or maybe he doesn't have a descriptor for it. But, like, they did it with Niecy Nash. She recently married a woman And she was like, it has nothing to do with sexuality. It's just who I fell in love with. But like the whole LGBT community, they were like embracing her as like, oh my God, she's out. And she's like, I never said I was a lesbian.
What about Billy D. Williams? I remember they.
Oh, that was so ridiculous. That was so ridiculous. Gender fluid.
Yeah, they said he was gender fluid, and he had to come out and say, "Oh no, that's not how."
Like I have no clue what that is. I'm 88 years old. Yeah, I'm 88 years old. I've never heard of this gender fluid thing.
Can I just say, when I was a youth, I may have wanted to kiss Jonathan Lipnicki. Just putting it out there.
Gay porn Mel has entered the building.
Hey, listen, I don't care about none of these.
Have
people.
you seen that kid now?
I'm gonna be honest.
That kid looks like Brock Lesnar now.
Yeah, he's kind of slow. He's even hotter.
Oh my God.
He's getting out of hand now.
She's getting out of hand now.
I think it's perfectly in hand for these times.
Listen, Jesse, you didn't hear me. The LGBT community might claim me next once they hear the recession episode because I said some choice words about one Trey Songz.
Oh no!
God.
Said he was more attractive than Drake. Do you agree?
Yeah, I guess if I was a woman, he's more masculine than Drake. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Less goofy than Drake.
So masculinity is the only attractive quality now? Is that what we're doing?
Less goofy than
small
Drake.
Penis Mel is being marginalized yet again.
Less goofy than Drake.
Abs, real abs, not Dr. Miami abs.
All right.
Would you shut up, man? Listen, who is on your...
Hey, you're shaking out of hand now.
Come on. Jesse, would you mind explaining to me the line that Tyler says here? Hated the popular ones. Now I'm the popular one. Also hated Holmes too till I start copping me some. What do you mean you hated Holmes? Who hates Holmes? What is... Like, why would you hate a space to dwell in?
He was envious of people with money, basically.
Okay, right. And that's how I've always interpreted it, but it's a bad way to say it. Hated home. No one hates... as far as I know, I don't know anyone who hates homes. You hate not having a home.
Like, I hated...
Or maybe you hate the home you're in.
I hated... Yeah, I hated people with money. For me, my version, I talk about this a lot. High school, I hated LL Cool J song doing it because I was a frustrated virgin, and he's talking about having all this damn sex, and I'm sure people who are my peers in high school are getting laid.
SPJ.
Right. And to this day, I don't like that song because of that. Because of the bad memories tied to that time in my life. Not bad memories, but I just remember being tortured by that song. This woman is moaning and carrying on, and I'm like, I can't. I'm trying to get laid.
And I mean, hey, Mel, to be fair, Jesse's not trying to be hateful here. He's just saying a guy who called himself a rapist and a serial killer might
I know Jesse's not being hateful. You're just clearing this up for the audience.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying he might not be being 100% truthful in his music all the time.
We know he's a masterful brander. So
best of love to the gay community, but Tyler's not gay. All right, and you ain't gay.
And you ain't gay. But yeah, this verse, it's full of zingers and weight and like uppercuts, but it also has some jabs and things that flat out whiff. Like I keep talking about the momentum. It's a roller coaster. I mean, Tyler has this habit of like when he raps and does similes and things, like it's kind of reachy sometimes, like fucking sick and getting bigger. Like I sneezed on Adele. It's like, but I do like, and bitches getting touchy feely like they reading some braille. I mean, that works, He gets back in his self-righteous bag. These fucking rappers got stylists because they can't think for themselves. See, they don't have an identity, so they needed some help. Like, okay. Like, I agree.
That was
but
Eminem. He's channeling Eminem.
Okay.
Like, just Eminem. From the flow.
Well, I think he's definitely channeling Eminem with, he's going into the defense of himself, but he rapes women and spit wrong. Like he hate Dennis, goddamn minute 666, and he's not finished. Like, okay, all that.
Like a lot of that verse was, you fucking do good. It's too bad you couldn't do good at marriage.
Exactly, renegade Tyler.
Yeah. That's good.
And although he should have his bad argument with like I don't hate gays because Frank's on my songs, and also like F Earl's mom because I let his son eat. Even though his son is not okay with you saying, or let her son even know her son's not okay with you saying this about his mom. But I do like the line, look at the kid who had the 9 try to blow out his mind but talk his money. I said, hi, I guess I bought him some time. It's like, yeah, okay. Very Eminem-esque, you know. Thought I wasn't fair until I threw a carnival, huh? Like, okay, I get it. Flog, no, the thing, the camp, it's the carnival.
I've been to 2 of those. I was in the cult. I was in the very first one.
Who was the big person there? Kanye?
The first one was Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne, okay.
They moved it from outside to indoors to one of the LA Live venues, and then Lil Wayne showed up. And I was like, oh, that was kind of the moment for me where it was like, oh, Tyler kind of like almost sold out a little. Because he used to be an avid Wayne hater.
What?
Like before,
he hated Wayne.
Hated the popular ones. Now I'm the popular one. Like he was jealous.
Well, yeah,
of
that. But
he was jealous
he also
of Wayne.
likes Waka Flocka and stuff.
He was jealous of Wayne. Like old Tyler. Like maybe if you like, I was deep in the cult. Like if you go back to like 08, maybe 09, his energy online was like fuck Lil Wayne. And now
Tyler?
he's friends with Lil Wayne.
Get the fuck out of here, you motherfucker!
Yeah, you put him on Smuckers, so
Right.
You know.
And another song on Flower Boy.
Oh yeah, that's right, he did. I hate that album.
Oh, that's his best album. That's one of his better albums.
I had to play this again so soon.
Get the fuck
Oh no, that's a great album.
motherfucker!
What's wrong with Flower Boy?
We need that Uzi too. Are
What's
you
wrong
serious?
with Flower Boy? Everything is yeah.
Briefly, what's wrong with Flower Boy?
Everything's wrong.
Everything's wrong with it, Jesse.
Briefly.
I'm sorry.
Briefly, I mean, I gotta listen again, but from
I'll
what I
tell
remember,
you.
it's meandering fake art nonsense.
Beautiful,
okay,
new age bullshit.
He finally came. He did what I was afraid he'd do and fall completely into his fake art tendencies.
That's his most musically
Igor,
advanced
right,
album.
Jesse?
Huh?
Right, exactly, which is why it sucks because it doesn't amount to anything.
What was the question?
You don't like Igor, right?
Oh, I hate Igor.
I don't like Igor either.
You hate Igor.
I hate Igor.
They're 2 peas in a pod to me.
No, Flower Boy is musically advanced. A lot of my affection for him is the production and the pianos and the
bro, the Lord's blessings leave me lyrically
the chords, bro. The chords.
I'm looking at the track list now. Who That Boy is garbage to me.
Oh my god, the bars on Flower Boy are just
the rest of this album is pretty good.
Oof, I don't like it, but I think we like different things about Tyler because you seem to gravitate when he's on like his pseudo Roy Ayers shit. I don't really like it. I'd rather listen to Roy Ayers.
I think that stuff is extremely hit and miss.
I mean, Roy Ayers is my favorite jazz musician, but Flower Boy is an amazing album.
Can I just say,
well,
on
Jesse,
this topic
I
of his different,
I got a joke for you.
Okay.
What happened when Roy Ayers met Tyler the Creator?
I have no clue.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Everybody loves the Goblin.
No, that wasn't so good.
Everybody loves the Goblin. There we go.
That wasn't so good. That wasn't as good as Rabinowitz.
On the topic of Tyler's albums and his supposed evolution and growth and progression, I think it's noteworthy his venting here on only his second, I guess, major label outing towards the end of this verse. Speaking about, I appreciated him because I remember watching him win that award at it was the VMAs, and I cheered for him, because I liked his energy coming in. I wasn't as in love with all of his music, but I liked what he stood for. I remember I was very happy when he won the award, but listen, he pulled the curtain back on this industry stuff. MTV can suck my dick and I ain't fucking playing, bro. They never played it. I just won shit for their fucking ratings. Like that's how the industry works. He was hot at the time. They're like, yo, we got to give Tyler the award, but what I want to call attention to, and on the subject of his albums, already on the second album, analog fans are getting sick of the rape. All the Tron Cat fans are getting sick of the lakes. But what about me, bitch? I'm getting sick of complaints. But I don't hate it when I'm taking daily trips to the bank. Listen, first of all, I'm sick of the lakes. I'm not a Tron Cat fan. Him and these lakes, bro, meet me at the lake. Like I'm gonna drown you in the lake. Okay, you in this lake. These lakes. Listen, hot take. Lakes are not cool. They're not attractive. Now, it's not a cool thing. It's just I'd rather go to a sea personally. If we're talking bodies of water, oceans are better than lakes.
A lifestyle, like a certain aesthetic.
Yeah, I know he's right. I'm tired of him and his lakes and his pastels and his handlebars and all right. That's not what I come to.
If I had to define myself, I'm more of a Troncat person than an analog person.
I'm not an edgelord horrorcore guy, but I do appreciate when he pulls that off.
I'd rather hear him dark. I'd just rather hear him be more in that lane, that satirical lane, than dude. I'm not here for the musicianship from him. I don't go to him for that.
I'm here for the musicianship.
Listen, when he pulls it off, he does it. He really does, and I will give him credit for that. He's a talented man. Don't ever get me wrong, all right? Because most people can't do what he does. But that doesn't mean that he should do the things he does, because he doesn't always pull it off, you know? Is what I'm saying, you know? It's just, yeah. Anyway, he says his fans are turning on him. Shit, they're almost extinct. I think that's a bit of an exaggeration. They're still buying those socks to this day. You know, so... yeah, he kind of has a frustrated moment there. I love these statement records personally. I'm a big mark for these statement records. You know, bite me, okay? I like when artists just black out for a verse and vent. You know, when they do it right. I think this was done right. For the spotty moments, I think overall the tone is perfect, and he captures what I think he was going for. Now, this Earl boy, this Earl man, weakest verse on the song. And it's not even a bad verse. Verse is fine, but he actually
his verse is okay, but he's clearly there to get shot.
Listen, and I love it. I love that they shot that Eeyore boy. I think it's great. And let me tell you something, Earl. You and all your fucking syllables got out-rapped by Domo and Tyler. How's that feel, pal? Okay,
was that
you rapidy rap man? You lyricist? You got bodied by two lesser rappers, supposedly.
Was that a continuation of, there was a song on Goblin, the previous album. It was like a posse cut where he shoots everyone at the end.
It could have
been. But Earl wasn't on that album.
I'm not in the cult.
But Earl wasn't on that album. So was it like, oh, he's the last person that has to get shot?
Wait, if that's the case, how did Domo Genesis get unshot?
Yeah, I don't know, but he shot all of his friends.
The continuity in his storytelling, you want to take shots at Antonio, but we don't have these kind of problems with our storytelling here.
We do, but we just don't call attention to it. But yeah, listen.
Samuel's here, but Tyler doesn't kill the.
Now look, I don't care about Samuel and Wolf and Salem and all these characters. You know who the best characters at the camp are? The people talking in the background. Like I think it was Lionel talking about, I got these baked beans. Okay, that's great. There was somebody talking about, you got a booger in your nose. The supplementary characters are better than the main characters. Okay, that's what I think about this camp.
Characters, Jesse. How do
for
you
the
feel
most part,
about
I don't.
The Slater Samuel universe.
It didn't really matter to me, but I think
it's no
this
Brooklyn
album,
Addy, right?
Huh?
No Brooklyn Addy, right?
No. But I think this album was like maybe a prequel to Goblin.
A prequel to Goblin.
Yeah, because he ends the album talking about, if I see him, I'm going to kill him. And then Goblin starts with him in a therapy session where the therapist was like, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't kill anyone. So, I don't know.
Well, I thought he was more talking about himself, like being murderous, but also wanting to kill himself. And, I don't know. Could be. I'm not in the cult, like I said. You would know more than I would.
Right.
So...
What if it was a Fight Club homage and he was Samuel?
He is Samuel, isn't it?
Tyler is Samuel.
I've considered that, Jesse. I've considered that they're one and the same.
Yeah, just like Tyler is.
I mean, I think they are supposed to be. They're two sides of his.
Yeah, I think so.
No, Tyler is Wolf, Haley, and Ace, but I think Samuel was like the person he was beefing with.
Listen, I listen to actual schizophrenic artists.
We don't need to pretend.
What do you mean? Yeah, you don't need to be right. We
don't need to pretend.
But listen, they keep telling
the guy
me,
I think you were talking about. He birthed a lot of culture.
Hey,
He
oh, right. You reminded me. Fun fact, Jesse. I'll just say his name, Charles Hamilton.
Right.
I don't know if you've ever read this, but Tyler is not a fan of him.
Wouldn't
Back
be
in the
surprised.
day, like he had a blog or something.
Don't worry, the
like,
feeling is mutual, Mel.
Is it? Charles always talks about liking Odd Future and being like, felt like they kind of left him behind and they're carrying his torch.
He dissed him on Star Wars.
Yeah, but he also he dissed him because he admires them.
And
he said as much.
He bodied Yonkers, truly. Really and truly.
You guys played that on the show for me.
Yeah.
But
that was before the show. That was a long time ago.
He developed a subculture. I don't know if I've said this on the show or in the voice messages. He developed a subculture that I refer to as small penis swagger rap.
Oh, you did. We played it on the
on the Supercut
State of the Rankings.
Oh, I got to get to that. Yeah, I got to get to the State of the Rankings. I haven't played that yet.
I don't even know if Charles has enough swagger for him to claim that.
I guess he got the swaggerless swag, no?
I know. The reason Tyler didn't like Charles is because he didn't respect Charles for sampling. Because he's like, I hate samplers. I'm a real musician, original music. Does he?
Yeah,
I thought his whole thing was like he makes original
no,
stuff.
He
which is funny because he's really just aping the Neptunes half the time.
He sampled a lot on Igor.
I mean, he sampled that bullshit.
Well, right, later in his career, I think he opened up to it.
He sampled that bullshit on Bastard. That.
Oh, I'm so sick of that sample.
So sick of it. Listen.
Oh, listen.
Join the club.
Listen, if you know anything about this show, you know how sick we are of that sample. But,
fucking hate that shit.
But the irony behind him thinking Charles is just a sampler is Charles is probably just as musically talented as he is.
Facts.
I've heard Charles play so many different instruments.
Charles is more talented. The chords, bro. When I'm thinking about the
chords, listen.
The chords,
Charles is original, like when he adds original arrangements or compositional elements
when he plays the synth,
samples.
When he'll play the synths,
bro. You know how Tyler's cult fans talk about it, the chords, the pretty music. That's how I get when Charles gets on the synth wave. When he starts playing them synths, I'm at his mercy.
He's not more advanced than Tyler the Creator.
Nah, he 100% is.
Shut up, bro.
Because here's the thing, Jesse. I've heard thousands of Charles songs. I'm telling you, he's done some things.
This man is. I'll say a lot about.
He's played a harp before. He's played a harp.
I got to tell you what I saw on stage at SOBs on, I think it was August 26th, 2012, was just some of the most insane shit I've ever seen in my life.
But listen, this.
Sorry,
Tyler,
it was Doom 1012.
Oh, please don't do this. Look, I'm glad that they shot Earl. Because it was comedic to me, and I think that actually worked in the narrative. It felt appropriate for the record, and they said, Mel,
music is about love, peace, and happiness, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Stop it.
I say, no, I'm not gonna stop it because this is Tyler the Creator, and we're in a different zone when it comes to him. Music ain't all about love, peace, and happiness. It's about violence and shooting people at summer camps. Especially the guy rapping the least enthusiastically.
Oh, he sounds so bored on the mic, this guy.
And listen, I like that kind of music, though. That's not what bothers me about Earl. What bothers me about Earl is his lyricism gets put in this category that I don't think it is. I don't think it's in.
He's bored, I'm bored. And you know what? There were a lot of kids in that cult Facebook group who were emulating him so early on that I'm like, this guy can't be that good. People are already catching on. They're already doing his shit just to the level he is.
I joke about him being Eeyore. What bothers me is not that he sounds monotonous or that he's sad. It's literally his lyricism. I don't think it's that incredible. And look, if I sound like a hater, I sound like a hater, whatever. But I'm not hating because there are Earl songs that I like. There are moments where I think he lives up to these, standards.
He can never please the tempo man. He can never do that.
I called Earl the Cuddy of rap.
That's wild. The Cuddy of rap.
Or Cuddy is the R&B Earl.
Hey, he does this thing.
I'm a little sad today.
I remember it.
I'm getting a little depressed.
he loves doing it. This is what I hate. It's like just I point to this where it's like, all right, this is Moulz. He's talked earlier about pandering, like hip hop pandering. I think this Earl, when he gets in his Slavic bag, malt liquor filling me up and all, it's not giving no fucks and all them sensitive chumps and all when that pistol erupts. It's like, we get it. You can rap. You're technically sound. All right. Now, I actually like those lines, but a lot of times it sounds to me like rapping for the sake of rapping. It's like rhyming words.
And you ain't Elzai.
Wow. Yeah, man. I mean, look, I like the song a lot. I think I like all the verses.
I just like it. I don't like it.
I like the beat a lot. I think,
and Jesse loves it.
This and 48 are my favorite songs on the album and probably top 10 because I'm not a huge Sour the Creator or Odd Future fan, but when it comes to speaking about him, 2 of my top 10 Tower songs are off of this album. And yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about Rusty.
My 48 notes say 8-. I hate the drums.
Oh, you hate the drums on 48, huh?
Yeah.
Break his knees, Mel.
Nah, I won't break Jesse's knees because he's a great man. He's a third member. He needs his knees.
Well, this is officially the longest guest spot we've ever had.
All right. Sorry for taking you guys to like Drake levels.
I'm gonna split
this
up.
Might be the Take Care episode all over again.
I'm gonna split it up. There will be the Jesse's House, tentatively titled Jesse's House segment, and then there will be the actual Rusty discussion.
Well, sure, but when people hear the full episode, they're gonna hear all of it.
No, they're gonna hear all of it. Yeah.
So sorry, guys, if this goes to 7 hours. Listen,
it's going to 7 hours.
I don't think it's going to go to 7 hours because I don't think.
6.
I think it's more 5.5.
6. I'm thinking
6.
6.
But yeah, Rusty, y'all.
Yep, Rusty off of Wolf. Jesse, you'll be back again this season now that you're officially signed on to 2 appearances a season.
All right. Closing words. Could have been a doctor. Could have been a pilot. Could have been on Def Jam. Could have been on Bad Boy. You know what? I'm a motherfucking rad boy. You wiggling, baby. I'm a motherfucking rad boy.
And rest in peace to Redacted Drugs.
Is that a slur in the name of his? In the name?
I don't know. Last time I said it, I got some heat.
Let's just.
What if he was a flawed individual, and there were chinks in his armor?
In his armor.
Yeah,
right.
There you go. Yeah.
All right.
Maybe some of those in his drugs. Yeah, that. Anyway, rest in peace.
What if he has slanted eyes?
Hey,
listen.
Hey, kick her out the studio, Ali.
Okay. All right, kick Jesse out the studio, Ali.
What if that was his nickname in Far Rockaway? I don't know. Because of his eyes, I don't know.
All right, folks, this has been the Track 14 Rusty discussion.
Getting out of hand now.
It's been a pleasure with the third member. Always bringing the controversy, bringing the takes, bringing the analysis, bringing the humor. He's just bringing it.
He's bringing it, and he's a fucking
Regular
draw.
Dwayne Johnson of this show, always bringing it.
I got to tell you, he's a huge draw. I'm looking at the numbers. His episodes always do well. I would suggest the other guests to try to get on this guy's level.
The best numbers. Whenever Jesse's on, a lot of people, they tell me, hey, when's Jesse coming back? I tell them,
do they really?
He's signed on for 2 appearances a season.
Well, Jesse, I'm going to tell you this, all right? The numbers don't lie. That's what I'm looking at, all right? And don't even ask me how. You're always putting up big numbers, and I got to say, you're not a good guy. You're not a bad guy.
I'm a rap guy.
You're the guy.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Well, all right, folks.
You're putting asses in seats. What can I say?
I promise next time I'll talk less because I don't have as much material.
Well, there won't be a ranking the rankings because you ranked them already. You'll have to wait till season 4.
Right.
Well, speaking of asses in seats, my is falling asleep. So, what do you say we move on with the rest of this review?
All right, let's do it. Jesse, thank you for coming, and we'll see you again soon.
All right, best of love.
Here, best of love.
On Rap Rankings.
Yo, it's Mel from Rap Rankings. To hear the full episode this clip comes from and all the other episodes, stop by raprankings.com or search Rap Rankings on your favorite podcast platform.